Hi there. How are you? Welcome to our Q&A. We've got a little I'm outside and I have the dogs here. So they're kind of being a little bit obnoxious right now. And Jeff just came home from work, so that's kind of getting them a little riled up. So if you hear any barking, that's what that is. So good morning, John. How are you? And good evening, Craig. How are you? Hi, Kurt. I'm just going through it. Hi, Larry. I'm going to get to your comment in just a minute, okay? Good morning, Juliet. How are you? Hi, Donna. Good evening. Hi, Annie. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Elaine. All right. I'm just going. Hi, Faith. Hi, Matt. Hi, Melinda. Good to see you guys. Oh, Matt. Yay. Love the ranch mayo. That's awesome. Yeah, I have been trying for so many years to make homemade mayonnaise, and it's really easy to do, but mine always turned out horrible, like oily. I just didn't taste right. So I was finally like able to do it, and I love the ranch seasonings with it. All right, so Larry has a question. I have a recipe for banana cake. The recipe calls for baking in a 9 by 13 pan at 350 degrees. How much batter can I put in the Ninja round pan so that I can steam bake the cake? Okay, so I would probably start by cutting the recipe ingredients in half. You can add, and I'm kind of envisioning this, in a 8 by 2 pan, probably to get it to 2/3 of the way up to allow for the expansion. Probably, I'm trying to envision here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say somewhere between 4 and 5 cups of batter. But if you cut that recipe in half, I have a feeling that it would make a good amount to put into that cake pan. I think. Now that's something that I would have to like really sit down and like look at and do some research on. But off the top of my head, I would cut the recipe in half because when you look at the rectangular shape, and usually it's going to be at least a good inch and a half of batter in the 9 by 13. I think cutting it in half. You might have extra. So, Larry, when you make half the recipe, only fill that cake pan 2/3 of the way full, and you should be fine. Also, I would not steam bake the cake. I would steam crisp the cake at a low setting. So set the crisping function when you do the steam crisp, set it for the lowest, which I think is 300 degrees. You may find that that's still a little high. You can switch over to pure bake if you find that that temperature is too high. But if you steam bake the cake, you're going to have a good 20, 25 minutes of steaming. And in my experience, that is way too much time in a wet environment for a cake. I tried one, a box mix I had, and I just said, well, let me just see how this works out. It was the worst cake I ever made in my life because it was really dense from the steam, from the heat of the steam, and just very not cake like. Okay. So I really don't recommend steam bake. If you try it, be careful. I did do some testing whether or not changing up the amount of liquid in the bottom, like maybe if you put a quarter cup or a half of a cup, if that changed anything. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head what the results were if I put in a half of a cup, but I know if I put 1, 2, or even 3 cups in, it didn't seem to change the steam time at all. But maybe if you back off of that liquid, and again, without my notes, I don't remember if I tried a half of a cup. But yeah, so just be careful with that. But cutting the recipe in half should work fine. And if you have leftover, you can make little cupcakes or something. All right, let's see. It's hot here too. Leanne's in Virginia, and it's hot here too. Let me tell you, I'm in Mississippi right now. Um, Hi, Crystal. How are you? Hi, Linda. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Gail. Oh, I'm so glad Gail made the ghee and it was awesome. That's awesome. All right, Melinda has a question about what do you think about the Ninja Combi? I don't have it, so I don't know. I've been seeing some post in my Ninja Speedy group on Facebook about the Combi, and the two people that I know that have it that are posting about it in that group love it. So they are really liking it. I don't have it yet. I was hoping that it was going to have an outside reservoir to put liquid in as a kind of a steam injection. Don't think it does. I think you put the liquid in the bottom pan. But until I get it, if I get it, I'm waiting for the price to come down, because I buy all these appliances myself and I just shelled out a ton of money for the new XL Pro Connect grill, which is incredible, by the way. But I I'm on hold on this one for right now. But people are liking it. I haven't done a group on it yet because it's very similar to the Speedy, but more room, which I think could really come in handy because I've been trying to convert some of my Ninja Foodie recipes to the Ninja Speedy. So especially like if it's a Ninja Foodie pressure cooker recipe, you don't have that function on the Speedy. I mean, on the Speedy, so you can't like do a direct, exchange for one appliance to the other. So last night, I think it was last night, I made chicken adobo, and it is that's a Filipino dish that has peppercorns and things. It's so delicious, so easy to do. But I was not able to figure out how to get the broccoli in at the same time. I did the rice and I did the chicken, and it turned out amazing. I hate to say it, it might have actually even been a little bit better than the one I did in the foodie, but it was a little more cumbersome to do, and I couldn't get the third layer of the broccoli in. So, but even in the Ninja Foodie one, I like take the rice out and put the broccoli in. So it's still like a little bit of, maneuvering of things, but the Ninja Combi might be the answer to fix that. Or in the Ninja Speedy, I made a recipe for 4. I think what I would do is probably cut it down to a recipe for 2. I think the Ninja Speedy is really showing itself to be a really good appliance for quick meals for 2, and quick meals when people like to have a protein, a vegetable, and a starch. And I think the Combi is going to have a little bit more versatility, but again, I don't know. Juliet, tell Bruce I said hi. And Annie uh, said, you got me addicted to ghee. I'm sort of addicted to it too now. In fact, I need to make another batch. And I don't remember, Annie, if it was you or somebody else who emailed me. So forgive me if it was you and I'm just not remembering. But somebody had a brilliant idea because when I made the ghee, it's a slow cooker ghee recipe. When I made the ghee with salted butter, which I always use because I always have salted butter on hand, it was too salty because after the evaporation occurs and it concentrates, it was just too salty. So somebody had the brilliant idea to do half salted butter, half unsalted butter, and said it turned out amazing. So I'm trying that next time. I think that's going to be a great thing. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Hi, Brenda. All right. And Kurt loved the ranch mayo. That's awesome. So happy. Um, Brittany's at Sam's Club. Are you buying garlic by any chance, Brittany? A beautiful background. I'm outside still. I need to set up an indoor little studio thing for the Q&As. I use my table that I used to use for the outside oven and grill. So I'm outside. Hi, Jen from Alaska Family Kitchen. How are you? Hi, Anna. All right, Kurt has a question. What is your favorite item to make in an Instant Pot and in an air fryer? So that's such a good question. But in an Instant Pot or Ninja Foodie using pressure cook, probably like soups, any kind of soups. I think they're amazing because they concentrate the flavors like so quickly, and you don't have to worry about boil over and things like that like you do on the stove. So I love that. Bone broth, I love doing. Although I don't do that as much as I used to because I don't like to use my homemade bone broth to test recipes because it's seasoned a lot more than just a off the shelf broth. So I don't usually do that in my recipes. But yeah, I just took out some chicken noodle soup that I made 2 years ago, and I had it in the freezer, and I just made that for dinner the other night, and it was delicious. I mean, the noodles were a little more mushy than I would like, but it was really delicious and flavorful. So yeah, soups definitely in the pressure cooker, and also meat that is needs to get tender. It's so quick to do that, especially if you cut the meat up. Um, it's really quick to do that. So I like that. I like anything where I can put it together, turn it on, and walk away. I love that because I jump from thing to thing to thing. So I'm one of those people that, like, if I have 5 things going on the stove, I'm burning one of them, right? One of them is going to be burned because I'm either going to get on my phone, something's going to happen, right? Something's going to happen and I'm going to burn something. Judith, you are not late. I just got started. You are right on time. Okay, so Kurt, the other thing is the air fryer. So my favorite thing to make in the air fryer, first of all, I love using the air fryer to reheat things. It does a great job. But as far as making something, probably anything that is like wrapped in egg roll wrappers. So because you can do all kinds of filling. I love to make those in the air fryer. Um, what else? French fries. Okay. They're easy. And whether you get them in the bag or you make your own fresh, I do a combination of both. They're great. So they're so easy and they turn out so amazing. I just did a homemade French fry. This was so cool because I was able to use the cold smoke function on the Ninja Foodi wood fire. So I cut up my fresh, russet potatoes, soaked them for 30 minutes, did cold smoke on them, and then air fried them. Oh my gosh, they were so good. They had just a hint of smokiness. They were absolutely delicious. All right, Matt. No, I have not done bagel chips, but that is a great idea. I'm getting on that. I'm doing that. That is going on my list. That is such a great idea. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to make those. I love bagel chips. Hi, Gail. How are you? Hi, Trisha. Hi, Anne. Thanks, John. John said he loved my comparison to the new Ninja Woodfire. That is a funny story. If I could tell you this really quickly, that video, 15 minutes, right, that you guys see, took 8 hours to film. So much was dropped on the cutting floor, as Jeff would say, because we wanted it to be very targeted and very specific to answer just 3 questions. Will it fit? What was the second one? Does it work? Which was for the Bluetooth. And I went into an entire demonstration of the Bluetooth and how it works. And Jeff's like, we're going to save that footage for another video. It's so in depth. Do that for somebody who's already bought the grill. So he did so much with that video as far as editing goes. I really thought it turned out amazing. But I kind of felt like I left so many things unsaid. But sometimes that's better, right? Sometimes it's better. And then I can follow up with some more detailed videos. So yeah, my 3 questions: will it fit? Does it work? And is it worth the price? And at the end, like, I didn't feel for somebody who's just getting into smoking meats or somebody who's very much a beginner and doesn't even know if they're going to like it. I don't think that Pro Connect is worth the price at this moment because it is so much more. Like, you can get the regular base grill for between $200 and $300. I forget what they are running now. Usually, I think you can get them down to like $262, $275, something like that. But the new one is $500. I mean, that's a lot of money. But the accessories that come with it are pretty cool too. So they're not. No. Forget. Not come with it. I purchased them separately. So I'm going to do a video on those later down the road. Hi, Barbara. How are you? All right. So Lorraine is asking, can I recommend a sous vide cooker? First of all, Lorraine, where do you live? A lot of the Ninja Foodi appliances have sous vide on them in the US, but they don't in other countries. And honestly, like, I use an Anova that I've had for a million years. It works great. And it's very precise. And I think as long as you look at the reviews, I would try to get an inexpensive one in case you don't like it. But you can find standalone sous vide cookers that are the immersion circulators for under $100, But if you can get the Ninja Foodi, which is a little bit different, you don't have as much precision, but they work. I mean, I was really shocked, but they do work. But if you just wanted a standalone one, I would look for entry level at first. I mean, you don't even need all the bells and whistles, really. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's like Bluetooth is necessary, or some of them, will connect to your phone. I don't think that's necessary. A lot of times you're doing longer cooks anyway. Excuse me. If this cough takes hold, I will mute myself. It has been since I traveled to Maryland, and it catches me right here. And it can be pretty violent. Like, it's non-productive. I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm perfectly fine. But it is crazy, like the way it just catches. Oh my gosh. Hi, Joni. How are you? Hi, Steve. Hi, Lynette. Hi, Jay Barry. How are you? Or Jackie, how are you from Australia? Awesome. Okay, so I have not gotten back to the golden syrup. I that is on my list to do because it's a fall thing that's coming out. So I haven't gotten back to it. So I haven't done it yet, but I appreciate the recipes for sure. And I also am going to order some from Amazon. So, yeah. I'm going to take a sip. Cheers everybody. I'm just drinking a little Truly classic lime. Okay. Um Julie, we just made your pork tenderloin recipe in the Ninja indoor grill. Delicious and came out perfect. Thanks for another great recipe. The indoor grill does a great job with those kind of things. But let me tell you, the outdoor grill does even better. It, for some reason, sears better. Oh my gosh. I think it's higher heat, something. It's just so amazing. So I usually walk outside now and do any grilling. Okay, Gail, I'm going to try to get through this hopefully without coughing and having to mute myself. So bear with me. I'm confused about which Ninja Creamy to buy. Which one do you recommend? Well, I only have the original, which is the pint size. They now have a pint and a half size. Um, they also have one called the Breeze. Um, the Breeze, I don't have it, so it's hard for me to say which one I would recommend. I would go to thetastytravelers.com, which is my friend Lauren's website. She knows all things Ninja Creamy, and she has comparisons on all of the different models. You can also follow her Facebook group, Ninja Creamy Community, and there's tons of information there. But I would probably say, based on what I've seen, that I would stick with the original one. I have heard some things about the Breeze and some things, of course, about the original. That there's always issues here and there, but mine's worked fine. I didn't use it for a long time because I couldn't figure out how to do recipes in it. Like mine were always, I called them astronaut dust. Mine never worked out, and I'm very stubborn. Like I don't follow instructions very well, and I don't follow other people's recipes. So I wasn't like looking and seeing what they were doing. I wanted to make my own ice cream mixes, put them in this thing, and blend it up. And I was just never having good success. I now follow Lauren and do her recipes because they turn out perfect every time. So, yeah. So, yeah, I would definitely follow the Tasty Travelers and probably stick with the original or whichever one's on sale. Okay, sorry about that. I'm telling you, it takes hold and it's like, oh my goodness. My face will turn bright red. Some kind of, probably, I don't know, it's probably some kind of a virus I picked up. It's just right here though. It's so weird. Anyway, okay. All right, Donna. I make recipes such as dog food that fill my 6.5 pot to the highest level mark. When I use the Ninja again for air fry, it smokes for a short time. Should I be concerned? Um, I'm assuming you have the one lid, Donna. That would be the first thing because if you have the two lids, they're using two different lids, so it should not smoke after that. Um, so I guess let me clear that up. Um, let's clear that up. Can you leave a message again asking or telling me if you have the one lid or the two lid? Because the answers will be completely different. So if you can do that, then I'll get back to that question. Hi, Robin. How are you? So, Brittany, how do I know? Because I know you and your love of garlic. What did I? Oh, and you're going to love this recipe that I have coming out because it is like tons and tons. tons and tons and tons of garlic. And it is so easy and it is so good. And it will be perfect for your meal preps. So I think you're going to like it. It's a pasta, but it's got spinach and chicken and tons of garlic. Tons, tons, tons. Um, Hi, Sinsu. How are you? Welcome. My cutting board. Does it have a story? It does have a story. It was a gift from my husband to me, and I absolutely adore it. It is. I wish Jeff was out here. I can't remember the wood now. It is a special kind of wood, and it's my husband's a guitar player, but hobbyist guitar player, although he's very good. And it is made by the same people that make guitars, but I don't remember which ones. But anyway, it's this. Let me see if I can get him out here because I don't remember anything. So, like, is it special? Yes, mostly because it's a gift, but I absolutely love it. Um, so I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna summons him and see if he gets his message. Okay, so let me get back to you on that one. But it's so I think it's an African wood, but I don't want to misspeak. So let me find out. But I love it. They're not cheap at all, not cheap at all, but they are beautiful. Hey, Jeff. What is the wood that my cutting board's made out of, and what guitar company makes them?
It's the same company that makes Taylor guitars,
Taylor Guitars,
and it's made with West African ebony.
and it's made with West African ebony. And what is their website though? It's not.
Stella Falone.
Oh, it's Stella Falone is the website.
Stella.
Yes.
Falone.
Stella Falone. Right. And they do carry them on Amazon, but from what I've heard, you get another piece, like a little what would you call that thing that sits underneath?
I would just call it a plastic mat. It keeps it from sliding.
Yeah, it's a plastic mat that keeps it from sliding.
About an eighth of an inch high.
And that apparently doesn't ship with the Amazon ones, but it ships if you buy them direct through the company. So that is that. All right. Hi, Jane. All right, April. I'm so glad that your father-in-law loves the ribs. That's awesome. All right. Pam wants to know how I use the air fryer to reheat food. It depends on what it is. Obviously, if it was like we went out to eat and maybe it was a sandwich or something, I'm like a grilled sandwich, I would put it on air fry on a low setting and let it heat all the way through. Sometimes I'll wrap it in foil before I put it in there. What else do I reheat in the air fryer? I mean, I reheat a lot of things. Yeah, but it has to be something like, I mean, it can't, like, I wouldn't reheat pasta in the air fryer. I would use steam, pot and pot steam for that. I'm trying to think of what else, like, if we ever have leftovers from restaurants and stuff that were deep fried, I always reheat it in the air fryer. Okay, I'm muting again. So Annie says her French fries in the air fryer are either burnt or mush. Well, are you soaking them in water and then patting them dry if they're homemade? And I would say that they're probably, are you spritzing them with oil? So there's some things that I would need to know about that. But if they're burning, the heat's too high. So the idea is you want them to be golden brown on the outside, but of course, nice, not mush, but nice on the inside. If they're mush, it sounds like they're too wet. If they're homemade. Now, if they're not homemade, then it's probably like something else, something else is going on with store-bought. Usually, if you just have frozen French fries, you can preheat too. So if you don't preheat, that's another thing with frozen French fries. If you don't preheat your air fryer and you just throw them in, as that temperature is coming up, you are creating a little bit of steam from any kind of ice crystals, and that will lead to soggy fries. So get them in a hot pot So definitely preheat your air fryer. And I recommend the highest setting on your air fryer for 10 minutes. And people want to push back at me about that and say, I only need to preheat for 5 minutes. Well, that's fine. You do you. But if you want the best outcome for your, air fried foods that and you want them crunchy, preheat that air fryer for 10 minutes. It's going to take every bit of that time for that basket or tray to also get up to temp. That's the thing. It's not so much about, I mean, it is about getting the heat inside and circulating in the air fryer, but a lot of that will kind of come out as you open the lid just to put your food in. So that's not the point of it. The point is getting the cooking surface hot so that that food starts to cook right away and doesn't steam and doesn't get soggy. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Lorraine. Thank you. The chicken Wellington and cordon bleu. Yes, they're both delicious. I also made your homemade rice-a-roni. Delicious. Great. Is the pizza cooker also the wood fire grill? Okay, let's talk about that. So there is a pizza oven and a smoker, and there is a wood fire grill and smoker. They are two totally different appliances. And the jury's out for me on the oven still. That's why I haven't done a video. I thought I was so excited about the oven. I thought it was going to be like the best thing since sliced bread. And I like it, but I don't like it. So I like the fact that it'll get up to, I think, what is it, 750 degrees or maybe 700 degrees, something like that. It'll get up to a really high temperature. So I thought, guess what Louise can make? Super excited. I can use it as a tandoori oven. Now I'm not sticking the chicken on the side, okay? Like I'm not, or the naan on the side. I'm not doing that. I don't think they stick the chicken on the side, but anyway, and a tandoori oven gets up to really super high temperatures. So I was like, I can make tandoori chicken and it's going to be amazing in this high temp oven. Except it wasn't at all. It was amazing when I did it in the grill. Okay. It was amazing when I did it in the air fryer, but it was not amazing when I did it in the oven. It just something about the configuration of it. Um, the pan is cast iron. So and I'm trying different things. So I don't want you to think this is a diss on the oven because again, the jury's out still. I don't know. But I will let you know when I figure it out. But it did not get that charring that I would have expected, that I got in the air fryer of all things that doesn't get that hot, I mean, 700 degrees is hot. And it did so well on the grill. I mean, it got grill marks, which isn't necessarily traditional, but it was amazing. It tasted amazing. With the oven, it almost seemed like it steamed more than got that charring. And I was very disappointed. Now, I did do roasted peppers and different things like that. They turned out amazing. I did one chicken one time that was like the best chicken that I've ever made in my life. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I thought that's going to be the key. Like, I'm going to be able to do these kind of things and they're going to be amazing. But then when I got a slightly bigger chicken, I had issues with it not cooking evenly and getting too dark on the top. So I have to go back to a small chicken, which was only like 3 pounds. And then it's like, okay, well, is that worth it? I mean, I'm only going to be able to do a 3 pound chicken. So there's things I'm working through. As far as pizza goes, it does a really good job. I have not mastered the Neapolitan pizza yet. I have done so much research on it. There's a certain thing that has to happen. The issue with the oven and that is that when I use fresh mozzarella, whether I make it or whether I bought it, it splits because the heat's so high. So, I mean, you could just use shredded cheese. So if you're not doing recipes in it, and you don't need to be exact about your ingredients like I do, because if I call something a Neapolitan pizza, it needs to fit certain criteria. The dough needs to be a certain way. I mean, there's certain rules about a Neapolitan pizza. So I need to follow them if I'm going to call it that for a recipe. But if you're making it at home, you do not. You do not. So it can be a fun thing, the oven. The smoker, I have not used. Let me think. Did I smoke anything in there? I can't remember, to be honest with you, but I understand it works great as a smoker. I did, but I don't remember what it was. I might have smoked I might have smoked those peppers. So I might have done some smoke on the peppers and then roasted them. The thing that bothers me about the oven the most is the inability to go from one cooking thing to another. So one cooking food to another. Like the pan is so hot, you can't move it for an hour. Really, it's got to sit in the oven. It is so hot, and it's like cast iron kind of. It's heavy, it's when the oven gets really hot. I don't know if this is a defect in mine or if it happens to everybody, but when the oven gets hot, the rails, I think, change because heat will change metal. So whether they expand or contract, I guess they would expand when they're hot because they contract when they're cold. It doesn't slide easily. So I see, as short as I am, where I have my oven, I see a mess coming soon. And that mess is going to burn me. So I'm really careful with it. And so far, that means because I have to be so careful with everything, it's not it's not my go-to right now at this point. Although they just had a great sale on it. And I think for a lot of people, it's going to be amazing. It's a great way to just make quick pizzas and things like that. And you can do one pizza after another after another. What I mean by, because you're using the pizza stone, but like, let's say I wanted to make something that I need the rack for and not the pizza stone or the tray. I mean, I have to figure out how to get that tray out. That's super hot, where to put it, and then put in the pizza stone. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of not, it's not jiving with me. And you have to do it all outside, which has been very hot. So jury's out on that one still. But I think it's going to be great for some people. I think if you want to be able to make pizzas and you want to be able to smoke meat and you want to be able to do certain other little things, I think the pizza oven's probably a good choice. If you want to be able to grill and smoke meats, the grill is going to be a much better choice. And you can open lid cook on the outdoor grill like you can on the indoor grill and griddle. So you can open lid cook, which means once it preheats, the heating element is on the bottom. So it's heating the grate from the bottom, and you can actually leave the lid open and you can do different things either on the grill or the griddle that you can buy a separate little griddle attachment. So you can do pancakes and things like on that. You would not be able to do pancakes or things very easily on the oven. You just wouldn't. So it's a toss up. You can do pizza on the grill, um, but because the heat mostly comes from the bottom, you may want to. I don't think there's any. And now I'm questioning myself. There is a heating element in the top, but I haven't done enough research to know when it's engaged and when it's not. Um, Obviously, if the lid's open, it's not engaged. If the lid's closed, is it engaged? It would make sense that it would be, but I don't know that it is on grill. It might be for air fry. So anyway, those are things I haven't really figured out yet. But they're both, I don't know. For me personally, I would go with the outdoor grill. That would be me. But that has to do with the way that I cook. And I know I can make pizza on that thing just as easily as I can in the oven. But if you're a pizza connoisseur and you really want delicious pizza, then the oven might be a better way. Okay. Um, all right. Hi, Wendy. How are you? And Annie's giving away her OL 601. Does that mean you're getting another one? I might have missed that comment if you said that. Okay. So Donna has the one lid. Okay. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. What I would do is after you're done making the dog food, if you clean the pot out, or if you have a separate pot, you could put, a new pot in if you wanted to, put a little bit of water in the bottom and run the broil function for, 10 minutes or so. And that's going to get all that burned off before you go to cook again, right? Also, when the lid is just slightly warm, not cold, not hot, slightly warm, you can run a damp cloth over it, over the coils. It just sounds like some things are getting, up into that lid and it'll burn off pretty easily. So that would be my suggestion for the one lid. Hi, Rhonda. Okay. So if I could only have one, it would be the grill. I think I just answered that. I didn't see your question, but yeah, it would be the grill because I think I can do everything. Not maybe not as well. Okay, the oven's probably gonna make better pizza, but it based on my cooking, the way that I cook, it would be the grill. Yeah, for me. Um, okay, Judith wants to know, do I have a ribs and sauerkraut recipe for the pressure cooker? I don't have a ribs and sauerkraut, but I do have pork and sauerkraut. Okay, so it would be very similar. I don't even remember what pork I use on that. Let's see. And it is really good, believe it or not. Of course, I'm going to say that, right? It's my recipe, but I think it is very good. So it's pressure cooker pork and sauerkraut. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. And let's see. Let me see what it is. What do I use here? I use a 3 to 4 pound pork shoulder. So you could absolutely just throw in pork ribs and you would be fine. It would be no problems at all to substitute that. All right, let's see. All right, how do you clean the inner rim of the indoor grill? There's black stuff between the heating element and the lid. I hate cleaning that indoor grill. I really do. Um, I'm trying to think how I clean it. Well, it depends. See, the XL is a little bit more open, so you can actually get in there. So usually, again, when it's warm but not hot, I'll go in with a damp cloth and try to get out whatever's in there. Some things you're just not going to get off, and it's okay. It's not dangerous or anything like that. Keep in mind that there's a lot of places you can't see in your oven, and I guarantee you they're black from cooking. So yeah, don't I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, obviously if it's really greasy, you would definitely want to clean that off. You can use like a little scraper. Like I have Pampered Chef stoneware that comes with a scraper. You can go in with that. You can use a toothbrush. There's no magic formula that I found though, honestly. No magic formula. And they don't recommend using like things like oven cleaner. Although I take the grate out of my indoor grill, which is another reason why I don't use it, because I have to do this like every 3 times I would use it. Take that out and I do soak that in oven cleaner because it gets funky. But as far as the inside, I just try to keep it as clean as possible. Best thing is keep up with it. Don't let it build up. All right, Rhonda, I think there's a word missing here. Do you do any of the other Ninja appliances? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Do you mean, do I make recipes in them? Yeah, I do. Like it varies. It depends on what's going on. But the Ninja Foodie is absolutely my primary one that I have the most recipes for. But I also have, I think, 2 recipes for the Ninja Speedy. Not too much. I've got some for the wood fire coming out. I didn't really do too many for the grill, but I have a few for the indoor grill. I've got a lot for the Ninja Foodie cold and hot blender, which they've kind of since discontinued. So I need to go back and like revamp those for another blender or another cooking technique because people can't buy that anymore. So I'm going to have both techniques in the recipe. But yeah, I mean, I try to do an array of recipes. I don't want to be tied down to just one thing. I want to do an array of recipes. A lot of times though, if you like, if I have an air fryer recipe and it's made in the Ninja Foodie, you can make it in any air fryer. It's not, you might have to tweak the time and you might have to tweak the temperature because it cooks different or the heating element is further away or closer to your food. So there's little modifications, but the recipe is the recipe when it comes to air frying. When you're trying to convert from pressure cooking to slow cooking or pressure cooking to another type of cooking, like a combi cooking in the Ninja Speedy, it could be a little different because your liquid amounts are going to be different. Because pressure cooking is just a different thing altogether. But there's still, the recipe's still there. It's still solid. Just needs to be modified a little bit. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm keep going. Oh, awesome. Janice is using the air fryer bacon bits as mix-ins for the Creami. What kind of ice cream are you making that you're putting bacon in? I love that. Oh my gosh. I love bacon. Um, okay, Crystal, thank you so much. Uh, putting honey in warm water. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep, that's a great idea for my cough. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Yes, you need to preheat the pan you're cooking on. That's the most important part, the cooking surface. For those foods that you want to air crisp or air fry to crispy. So that's why I always say put the basket in, put the plate in, put all that in. Now there's other foods like when I did bacon bits, I said you don't even need to preheat, right? You don't need to preheat. It's not a big deal because we're going to cook it and we're going to render that fat and we're going to crisp it up that way. I'm talking about breaded foods, french fries, things that you want crispy, things that would be deep fried. You want to preheat your pan. Very important, very important. Well, I love this so much, Jacqueline. That I have heard this from so many people, and as a retired nurse, I like am just blown away by the amount of independence these small appliances are giving people. I am just so happy to hear that. I just love that so much, and it's amazing, and I just absolutely love it. Like I had one guy one time said that he lived in an apartment and he had a microwave, but because of his disability, that was all he could really cook on. He could not stand at the stove. And so he would be like making microwave meals. And the first time that he was able to use the Ninja Foodie and make like a really healthy salmon dish for himself, he was just like, just so excited. And that excites me so much. And it's so true, because you can put these down at a level that's comfortable for cooking for you. And so that's just awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Um, oh, thank you. And Dylan, I know I love that little boy. He's so adorable. He's so adorable. Hi, Terry. How are you? Um, oh, Annie, interesting. So you're using the ghee in cookies, in cookie recipes, and it's working out if it's a creaming cookie, like you know how you would put room temperature butter in with the sugar to cream it. So the ghee is because it does solidify, um, but not as hard as I guess it would. Yeah, I guess it would work. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to try that. I just made cinnamon bun cookies, guys. They are amazing. They're gonna come out, Christmassy time. Oh my gosh, they are the best cookies I think I've ever made in my life. I was working on a snickerdoodle cookie and I said it's more like a snicker what the doodle because it doesn't really taste like a snickerdoodle. But I was like, I like the base. And Jeff said, make it into an almond cookie. I liked the base, but it wasn't sweet enough for a snickerdoodle. Just didn't have the right texture. Just wasn't the right thing for a snickerdoodle. But I turned that base into these cinnamon bun cookies. They're beautiful. They are amazing. But I'm going to try them with a ghee. I bet that might elevate it even more. Um, John says he only has the Smart XL grill and the air fryer available here. Yeah, I know it. I wonder what's going to happen if the outdoor grill is going to make its way. It is in the UK. I wonder if the outdoor grill will make its way over to Australia. Oh, Annie's giving her daughter a brand new one. That's awesome. All right. Hi, Jack. How are you? Oh, Sally, that's a bummer. A teaspoon of black oil. It still works fine. I've been tempted by Vitamix though. Yeah. The thing that I liked about the Ninja Foodie hot and cold blender, which is different from Vitamix, is that you could actually like set the heat, set the temperature. So like when I was making barbecue sauces or making small batch soups or making things like that, different sauces, it's just so easy to put everything in, hit the button, it blends it, it cooks it, it does everything for you. But I think they did have some design issues and maybe they just couldn't work through them. Mine's been working fine. I've had mine for a long time. But I understand that it's not working for everybody and it is what it is. I thought it was pretty cool. None of them worked out. There was an instant pot version and there was I think a Pampered Chef version and I don't know if any of them are still available. I'm not really sure. I have all three, but I liked the Ninja one the best. intuitively it spoke to me. I understand how it worked a lot better. Um, okay, so I have a tiny kitchen with extremely limited counter and storage space. What two countertop appliances would you recommend for optimal efficiency? That's hard. Okay, for optimal efficiency, two Ninja Foodies. Honestly, you could do everything in the Ninja Foodie, absolutely everything. So you only need one, unless you want to cook at the same time. So the grill would be probably my second choice. Personally, gosh, this is hard. Let me think. If you're going to have a new Ninja Foodie, which has the steam and crisp and all that stuff, you don't need a speedy. So I would say the Ninja Foodie and the indoor grill would be two appliances that I would have. Actually, if I could only have two countertop appliances, one would be a coffee maker. But I don't think we're talking about that. Um, the Ninja Foodie and then the grill. And because the grill, I mean, you can grill in the Ninja Foodie if you have the grill pan, but it's not as convenient. I mean, the grill grate thing that goes in there, but it's not as convenient as grilling on the grill and griddle. And I don't know if I would get the grill and griddle or the plain grill. I'm torn about that. I would get the outdoor grill and griddle before I got the indoor one. Although I have it, it's good in theory, but I don't use it for some reason. I don't know why. So that means it just doesn't speak to me for some reason. But I do understand why people would want a grill. So those probably for the most things you could make and doing cooking at the same time, but they'd have to be on different circuits. So if you don't have two circuits in your kitchen, forget it. Just get one, the Ninja Foodie. And I would get if you're taller than 5'2", I would get the 8-quart. If you're not, I would get the 6.5-quart. The new one with the smart lid. It's probably what I would do. Oh, that's awesome, Rebecca. The peppermint patty recipe. Oh my gosh. That is so good. I've got to think about what candy I'm going to make this year for Christmas time. I'm thinking truffles. Truffles are so easy and they're so fancy looking, but they're so easy to make. One year I made all kinds of truffles. Before I was really doing this for a living, I was making them for gifts for people. And I did key lime truffles. I mean, I put together boxes of truffles that would like blow your mind. They were so gorgeous. They were so delicious. Of course, I didn't write down not one recipe. I made it up as I went, but I didn't write down any recipe. So I have absolutely no clue how I made them. But I'm going to try to make them again. Maybe this year I'll do a series on truffles because they're so easy and so delicious. Okay. All right. John has a throw in what do we call it? A little, I don't know what we call it. Okay. What is the importance of checking our ceiling rings and ensuring there are okay, bedded. I know what you mean. Properly before going under pressure. Okay, so it's very important, especially in the one lid model, because they can slip. And at first, they're really tight in there, but after you use them for a while, they can actually slip. And I guess they can slip in the two lid model too. So what John's talking about is the ring that goes inside the pressure cooking lid. If you have the one lid model, it's the same lid as your air fryer lid, and it sits up there. And if you have the two lid model, it's in the pressure lid. It's very important to check that every single time. Run your finger around it. Just make sure that it is seated properly, because if not, you can have some steam leak out through the edges. Like if you start to go under pressure and you see condensation building on the outside, you have a problem with your ceiling ring. So inspect it for cracks and things. Try to replace them about every 6 months. Although I'm not very good at that. I don't do it. But when they go bad, they can go bad. So you might want to have like an extra on hand so you don't get into a pinch of having all your food in a pot and all of a sudden your ceiling ring goes bad. And I do have extras, so I always am ready for that. But I don't replace them as frequently as I probably should. But yeah, I think every 6 months to a year is a good rule of thumb. The other thing is remove them to clean them. Even if you haven't pressure cooked lately and you have the one lid, okay? I made this mistake. I had done a steam. I guess I was steaming something. I was steaming crab legs, and I didn't even think about it because I don't know why. I just didn't. I screwed up, and I didn't pull the ring out to clean it. And I was live, and I was air frying something, and I was like, "What is that smell?" It was horrible smelling. I was like, "Oh, I got to pull the ring out." Because you don't need the ring in to air fry and all that other stuff, but you need it in for pressure cooking. So you can either leave it out except for when you pressure cook, or you can leave it in all the time like I do, and then remember to take it out and clean it. And I oftentimes will throw it in the top of the dishwasher. And the newer ones that are fit for the one lid seem to be a little bit more sturdy, and I don't think they hold as many odors. Um, so yeah, cinnamon cookies, they are so good. Like they've got a ring of cinnamon. They are so good. Cinnamon and sugar. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so pretty too. Um, all right. The bugs are coming out. I hate bugs. Okay. I'm scrolling down here. So Betty's chiming in. I have a small kitchen with room for one appliance. I use the Foodie PC and AC so far. Not tempted by anything else. Bought a new one and still opted for the two lid. Yeah, Betty, I don't think that you can go wrong with the Ninja Foodie pressure cooker and air crisper. It does everything. It really does. It's amazing. It's an amazing appliance. I wouldn't even be doing recipes because I'm not an appliance girl. Because I know that's like so hard for people to believe. Like they don't even think I'm telling the truth, but I absolutely am telling the truth. Prior to the Ninja Foodie, I didn't hardly even use my Instant Pot, except for maybe soups and things like that. I tried different ones, but they never worked as well as I couldn't get the results that I could get on the stove and in the oven. So if I can't get the results that are as good or better than on the stove or in the oven, I'm not using an appliance to make it, because food quality is extremely important to me, and textures and things like that are extremely important. But once the Ninja Foodie came into my life, I was like, whoa, this thing does what it says and it does it well. I mean, I was even against air fryers. I didn't think they were going to work, but the Ninja Foodie works great. And I think other air fryers do too. All right. Cindy wants to know, have I done steaks in the outdoor grill? Yes, I have. And I'm trying to. So the other day, I sous vide sirloin steak, which I don't like a tougher steak. Jeff does, but I don't. He likes the beefy flavor of a sirloin, but I prefer the flavor of a sirloin, but I like the texture of a fillet. So what I do is get a cheap, is it anything cheap? I don't know, but less expensive sirloin. It's definitely less expensive than a fillet. And I sous vide it first, and then I grilled it. It was delish. Now with a ribeye where I want to render that fat, I would probably go straight grill. And I did try to do a little smoke on a steak one time. I don't remember if I cold smoked it or just grilled with smoke. I don't remember because I've tried a bunch of different things and I can't remember. I can't remember what I do. Half the time I don't write it down either. So it's like I'm thinking I'm doing all this experimenting for, a video or for my recipe website, and I end up not using it all because I forget it. But I love the way that the outdoor grill sears. So I did chicken the other day. I did a burger. It sears fantastically. Better in my opinion than the indoor grill. I think it gets hotter. Although I think the temperatures are the same, so they say, when you don't set a temperature on high grill, but the wood fire Pro Connect, which is the bigger model of the outdoor, temped out with an infrared, which I don't even know how much I trust those, but just to give you an idea, it temped out at 570. The grill grate. The grill grate in the original, after preheating on high grill, temped out at 530. And I don't remember what it temps out on the indoor grill. I'll have to find that out for you guys, but I don't remember. Okay, so Jacqueline, I got the 2-lid Ninja Foodie, but it does not have steam crisp. What is the difference? I have everything else you mentioned, but am I missing something? I don't think you're missing anything, Jacqueline. I think you're doing fine with the 2-lid. I actually, it's hard for me to say because I work with the 1-lid all the time now, but the 2-lid has some advantages with stacking abilities for 360 meals that the 1-lid does not have, because you've got the air fryer coil, the heating coil in the lid itself that you also pressure cook with. So you don't have as much clearance for stacking in the one lid model as you do with the two lid. I like the ease of the one lid better, but as far as steam crisp goes, it is good for things. Don't get me wrong. It really is. But you can accomplish the same thing by using the steam function and then switching over to the crisp function on the older two lid models. So I don't think you're missing out on anything. It's not like mind blowing, right? Nothing mind blowingly different. Um, it's just a tad bit easier. That's all, because you just have to set one setting. But with that, you also have to understand how the steam crisp works. Whereas if you wanted to steam something for a long period of time and then crisp up the top, you can do that with your manual steam setting and then your crisp setting, your air crisp or air fry setting. But if you use their combination steam crisp, they have the timing for the steam. It's already there. You don't program how long it steams. It depends. It's about 8 minutes on steam crisp. It's about 20 minutes on steam bake. So that's how you decide whether you're going to use those two functions or not. Personally, I haven't used them much at all. Because I don't like the fact that I can't control the steam time. I want to control everything, right? So yeah, I don't think you're missing out on anything. I mean, you might want to upgrade when they're on good sale, and maybe if yours is getting older or whatever, because the two lid models are getting harder and harder to find, which is a little upsetting for me. Thankfully, I have a few like that I'm not using as actively now, so hopefully they'll stay good for a while. But yeah, I'm wondering too if they're coming out with a new one. So I don't know that. I don't know, and I don't have any insider knowledge or anything. I don't really know. Um, yes, Cindy, absolutely. Grilling a steak without the pellets, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I whether it would do a better job than the outdoor grill, I mean, than a gas grill. You know, gas is going to heat up those grill grates things hotter. But the wood fire is a smaller cooking surface. I would think comparable. I haven't grilled on a gas grill in so long. Um, I I would almost tend to think better because it isn't as hot, but you're getting a good sear. Now charcoal to the wood fire is totally different, right? But gas to the electric, you're not getting any kind of flavor from the gas grill, really. So I would say I think so, but I don't want to be held to that because I'm not a gas grill uh, steak cooker, and I don't even have a gas grill. But I just feel like it does a really good job. Um, oh, I'm so excited. The zuppa, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the zuppa Toscana soup isn't that delicious. I had never had it before, but I'd heard a lot about it, and I thought I'm going to make it. And I think I had somebody taste it for me. No, she had never had it either. I just was hoping it was good as Olive Garden or better. But yeah, that is a dump it in and go soup. I love that. Um, okay, John's chiming in about the steam crisp. He likes to do the chicken with steam crisp. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But you can do steam and crisp. I have a recipe on my website where you steam the chicken and then you crisp it up with the two lid. So you can do anything in the two lid that you can do in the one lid. Except for if you have the OL 701, the two lid models don't come with a pressure release, programmable pressure release, and they don't come with the thermometer. But as far as settings go, they don't have a proof setting, but you can even get around that by using dehydration setting. So, thank you, Donna. I appreciate that so much. And I'm going to actually be getting off here on time today because I am going out to dinner with my husband. And my hair is looking a little bit messy because I'm outside in the heat here and the humidity. Okay, Kimberly's got a question. Which coffee maker do you recommend? I just know my Keurig is on its last leg and I've never tried anything other than a Keurig. So I like the dual brew coffee maker, which you can do Keurig and you can do a full pot. So if you're having company or need to make more coffee, you can. You can also do different things. I mean, I don't use the bells and whistles so much, but what I really like about it is that it has a separate line for hot water versus the coffee. So you never have to run. Like if you just wanted to get a hot cup of water to do, put in an instant soup or put in, make a cup of tea or something like that, you don't have to purge the lines. There's two separate lines. And I love that about the dual brew. I'm going to post a link here to my deals and discounts group on Facebook because I post a lot about that when it's on sale. And you can join that if you want to. Let me find it here. Lauren, my friend from the Tasty Travelers, and I started this group because there were so many scams going on. So many with people, like it looked like you looked like you were buying from an outlet that was legit and you weren't. You were just giving people your money or giving people access to your information. And they're popping up so much. So with the holidays coming up, Lauren and I said, let's start a group where we know we vet the links, we vet them. We look for the best deals every single day. Sometimes I'm better than other days. It depends on my workload. And then we post the best deals of the day for the appliances and some other kitchen stuff too that we use. But mostly we focus on the appliances. So if you're looking for the best deal on the cookware or the Ninja Foodie or the outdoor grill or the oven, join that group. It'll definitely, and peek in. Facebook doesn't show you everything in your feed all the time. So I recommend going directly to the group to take a look at it. But it is the dual, what's it called? I just said it, didn't I? But now I don't remember. I'm going to go into the group and I'm going to look and tell you exactly what it is. If I can get to my post in time, because there's several different models. My friend Lauren posts more than I do. She's a dealer. She likes to go and find deals. Me, I'm not a deal finder. So she finds a lot of stuff, but I focus on the appliances more than anything. I just posted about this. Why am I not seeing it? Let me look. Coffee. Do a search. Coffee pot. Okay. Here it is. Now, it is called... Let me see if I can copy that, and I'll put it in the chat. Oops. Uh-oh, I don't know where I went now. There I am. Okay, let's see if this works. No, that is like too crazy here. Okay. Let me cut it off at right there. So you at least know the model number. Okay. That's the one that I have, and that's the one that I love. Okay. Lucy. Okay. So you can go to, let me put this in. Okay. So I just put the link in, Lucy. It's the saltedpepperacademy.com, and you'll be prompted to put in your login information. If you have forgotten it, you can reset it, and it'll send you an email. If you have any other questions about it, send me an email at louise@thesaltedpepper.com so I can try to help you through it. Okay, let's see. There was another... Let's see. Thank you, John. Thank you. Oh, I'm starting to rain, so I'm definitely going to be going inside. Okay, Gary, this is the last question, I think. Any Creami content coming by any chance? No, I'm not doing it. The reason is because Lauren does it, and she does it really well, and there just really isn't any reason for me to do it. The recipes that I would want to do in it don't seem to work out very well. So I don't think I can bring anything to the table there. If I could bring something to the table, I would probably collab with Lauren on it and let her do it. Just isn't my thing, I tried, I failed so many times. I finally said it's just not my thing. Now, regular ice cream recipes, they're my thing. So if you have a regular ice cream maker, that churns, I've got recipes there for that. And I also have some for the blender where you actually blend it and then you freeze it. But there's certain specific things that you do for each type of machine. There's certain ingredients that need to be in or not in for it to work that way. Because if you're blending something, pouring it into a container and then freezing it, and then you want it to be scoopable, there's certain things you have to do to it. And it's still going to have to sit out for a minute and then be scoopable. But they're delicious recipes, really delicious. So you don't even need an ice cream maker to make good ice cream. You can follow my recipes. You don't even need the blender to do that in, because you can, if it's heated, you can heat it on the stove. If it's not heated, you just blend it in your regular blender. Um, but as far as the Creami goes, you blend, you freeze, then you spin. But mine always turn out really powdery, and I don't use for my blog, for my recipe blog, I don't use like powdered puddings and things like that. And I'm finding that you kind of almost need to use that kind of thing. Or you could use xanthan gum. I think she's got some recipes. Anyway, I'm going on and on and on. Lauren's got it all covered. She's got more recipes than you could ever imagine on her website. So go to thetastytravelers.com and check her out, because her recipes are good. And she doesn't like ice cream that much. I hope I'm not telling a tale out of school. So when she posts her ice cream recipe, it's got to be really good. Really good. Her husband likes ice cream. She's like, not an overly sweet eater kind of thing. So when she makes it, I know it's good. And I haven't had one fail at all. So I like that. Especially since it takes 24 hours, or I don't always freeze them for 24 hours, but it takes a long time to freeze them. You want to make sure when you spin it, it's delicious. So I definitely recommend following a recipe at first. Okay. All right. Jacqueline wants to know how to join the Salted Pepper Academy. I'm getting rained on. Let me think. How do I'm you can tell right now I'm not a salesperson. Should have that. Let me think about this. Salted.com slash I'm trying to find the website. The 101. I don't know. Isn't this terrible that I don't even know what the sales page is for my course? Jacqueline, can you send me an email? This is so embarrassing. Online course. Oh, I found it. I Googled it. I'm showing up on Google for this. That's good. Okay, so this here is the link. Oops. Okay. So Jacqueline, I just posted the link. That is the message, or the URL that I gave before, the website that I gave before, is for already enrolled people that are already enrolled in the course. If you're not enrolled, you have to enroll in it, and then you get all the, you get access to the course. I'm trying to think, because I'm getting rained on, and I'm trying to think. The academy, yeah. Are you enrolled already, Mary? If you're not enrolled, you have to enroll. If you are enrolled, then you should be able to, reset your information. But you have to enroll first. So there's the enrollment information if you want to enroll in it. It is a paid course. There are over 100 videos in there. I'm actually working on something else I don't want to say, because I've been working on it for like 6 months. But there's going to be another component to it that's going to be super valuable in the future. But for right now, that's the course information. It's pretty in depth. If you have any questions about the Ninja Foodie, and basically like a crash course on cooking, that is the course for you. It's go at your own pace. You don't, you can jump around, but I recommend going through it. It's set in order, as I think that people should learn about their appliance. And it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And I'm not even finished with it yet. I still have a few more videos that I've been trying to get done. Oh, probably for almost a year now, for the one lid model. I've got a lot in there on the one lid model, but I still have a few cooking videos and a few other things that I've learned along the way that I want to add in there. And then the course will be done, but then there's going to be something else that I'm adding to it in the future, which I'm super excited about. Okay, I'm going to go because I'm getting rained on terribly. Thank you, John. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I am going to go. I love you all so much. I'll see you next week for Tasty Tuesday with Jeff. And now let me pack up real quick. I'm going to get Jeff out here to help me pack up all my stuff, and then we're going to go out to dinner. Bye.